Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a guide slash showcase for the fox mommy slash lady herself, Miko. If you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It does help the channel grow. It does mean a lot to me. And further ado, let's get on with the video. Alright, so let's quickly talk about artifacts. So there are a bunch of two-piece combinations and a bunch of other builds with artifacts that work well with Miko. So two-piece combinations are as you see on screen here. Those 6 artifacts can be combined with each other to be solid two-piece combinations. But do keep in mind, substats are everything. So if you have really good pieces that have insane substats, it can help you elevate your damage in ways that are better than just running two-piece sets. So if you can only have a 2-piece gladiator and 3 off pieces that have insane substats, that is more valuable than having set bonuses that aren't that valuable in substats. So do keep that in mind. Now, other 4-piece combinations that you could also run are the emblem set, and for support builds you can run the Millilith and Noblesse for the attack buff on their 4-piece sets. So Yai can play a lot of different builds actually, and she's very flexible. Since she doesn't have her own set, she is very flexible with artifact builds. Alright y'all, so let's quickly go into the weapon options. So there are a lot of different ways of using Yai, so I'm going to cover each different build and each different weapon that you could possibly use. So first, we're going to start with a 3-star option, being the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer. It is one of the most powerful support weapons in the game. When you are a support and you basically switch off to another character, you will gain an attack percentage bonus. At R1 it will be 24%, at R5 it is 48% attack percentage. It's a very powerful support weapon. If you are running support Yai, this is definitely a good option. Now we'll move on to the Favonius Codex. Good for refunding on your burst. Since Yai has a very high burst cost, the Favonius Codex is of value. It is a very solid weapon. Now this is not a high damage weapon, but what it will do is allow you to constantly refund your burst, easy rotations. Not only that, the Favonius Codex not only helps your own energy, but it also helps the team's energy a little bit, and it's just a nice flowing weapon. The Widsith is obviously a very powerful DPS weapon, has one of the most powerful passives in the game, providing a chance of getting either attack percentage, elemental damage, or elemental mastery. It is random. It's a coin flip between those 3, and you know, it is what it is. Only problem with the Widsith is it's a little bit unreliable, because you know, you could get one of the 3 options. All 3 are good options of the passives, right? Attack, elemental damage, and elemental mastery are all good, but it is a 30-second cooldown. It's not always guaranteed to get what you want type thing, but it does have crit damage, so it's always a solid, just general stat stick. Sacrificial Fragments is not a weapon I really recommend for Yai. I recommend this for a Sucrose as a support for Yai, because Sacrificial Fragments, what it does, just like the rest of the Sacrificial set, it has a chance of completely resetting your cooldown. This is not really valuable for Yai, since Yai's cooldowns are very low on her elemental skill, because her little totem downtime is about 2 seconds, right? They're on the field for about 8 seconds, I believe, and each of the totem's cooldowns, you have 3 of them, are about 2 seconds each. So there's not really much use in the Sacrificial Fragments. I don't think this weapon is really good for Yai. If you want it for a pure elemental mastery stat book, go ahead and use it. But other than that, there's no general use for the Sacrificial Fragments. The entire royal set I do not have, however I generally don't recommend this weapon since it is not really that powerful. There are definitely better options, and there is a free to craft weapon that is better than the royal set, being the Map of Mare. It provides a solid general elemental mastery sub stat, and its passive is pretty powerful, providing elemental damage. So if you don't have any other option, you don't have the Witsid, you don't have anything else, and this is not a bad option. I think the Map of Mare is decent, has elemental mastery, has a good passive, it works well with Yai. I think it's pretty good. Never make the prototype hand for Yai unless you want to run a healer Yai. I don't know why you would, but you know what? I won't judge you if you do. The Eye of Perception is just a general stat catalyst, just an attack percent stat stick, nothing really too crazy. The passive is not great, but other than that, it's just an attack percent stick. The Blackcliff I do not have, but it is a great crit damage stat stick. It is one of the more free to get options since it is 24 star glitter to get, just like the royal set. But the thing with the royal set, it's just not good compared to the Blackcliff, since the Blackcliff provides you crit damage and its passive is pretty decent because when you kill an opponent, I believe you get attack percentage. So you know it's a pretty good weapon, and that's what I have to say. Solar Pearl is one of the strongest catalyst in the game, has a very strong passive. When using a normal attack, your elemental skill and elemental damage will increase by 20% for 6 seconds, and when you use your elemental skill and elemental burst, your normal attack damage will increase. So it is a very good catalyst. Works really well with DPS Yai or sub DPS Yai. I think this is a fantastic catalyst because it also has crit rate on it too. Now, I'm not gonna really talk about all of these catalysts, but what I also will talk about is the Hakushin Ring. The Hakushin Ring is a pretty decent catalyst for Yai. It has energy recharge as its substat, and its passive is pretty decent for Yai, providing extra electro damage when you create an elemental reaction. And since Yai kind of works off of elemental mastery, this is a pretty solid weapon. And not only that, the energy recharge allows you to, of course, refund your ult a little bit better. And of course, the new catalyst that we get from doing new event is not the best for Yai. It's an attack percentage catalyst with an energy recharge passive. It's pretty good, but the only problem is that like there's no really damage, right? So if you're not worrying about the damage output and you're only worrying about like sub DPS, maybe support Yai, then you can use this on Yai. I think this is probably better on maybe Kokomi, Barbara, you know, characters who, or even Mona. If you have Mona, this is a fantastic weapon for Mona. But I don't think it's the best for Yai, but it's solid. It's not bad. All of the 5-star options are pretty mediocre, except for the Kagura's Verity. So first, the Skyward Atlas, Lost Prayer, and Memory Dust are all just attack percentage catalysts. Except for Lost Prayer. Lost Prayer is just crit, but these three, you don't really worry about their passive. You are just using them for their main set, and that is crit rate or attack percentage. They're just stat books. Everlasting Moonglow is not a weapon for Yai because it is a healing conversion into damage weapon, I believe, and Yai does not run off of HP, so give this to Kokomi or Barbara. So yeah. Kagura's Verity is a very powerful catalyst. Has one of the strongest passives of all the catalysts because it is very universal. So the Kagura's Verity is the final weapon that we need to get into. And I think that this is not only one of the strongest weapons for Yai, but it's so strong for almost everybody else that is a main DPS catalyst user. So casting your elemental skill will increase your elemental skill damage and just elemental damage in general by 12% for 3 stacks. So since Yai has 3 elemental skills, you're always guaranteed to have its max potential on stacks. So 12% for 3 stacks being 36% elemental skill and elemental damage. At R5, that is a lot of damage. That is an insane amount of damage. And I think that this weapon is not only just so universal, is probably, if not best in slot for almost every single Catalyst DPS in the game. And not only that, it has a crit damage substat being, I believe, 66.2% at not R5, just in R1 or R5. But if you ever do pick up this Catalyst, it is a fantastic option. I know this was a lot of information to put into one section of the video, so I'm going to quickly put a little chart / picture for y'all who could not catch everything, and I'll have a little outline for all the weapons for y'all. So let's quickly talk about team compositions. Yai definitely must pretty much be paired with a second Electro character because of her massive burst cost. Best options are Raiden and Fischl. Kujo doesn't really work well, and Lisa is but best choices are Raiden and Fischl. And me personally, I think her best team for elemental reactions is not Overload, because with Overload it creates a massive explosion and just people start flying everywhere, and I think the elemental reaction of Overload is really bad. So I actually highly recommend Xingqiu, and just Supercharge. Constantly tasing people is a massive DPS increase. And not only that, Xingqiu by himself does so much damage, is just insane. And then of course your last slot could be either a animal character like Venti, Kazuha, or Sucrose. Those 3 are fantastic options. Or a Bennett for healing, Diona for healing, and if you have Diona C6 for elemental mastery as well, or Zhongli for shields and elemental resistance shredding, or Mona as well for if you have a Favonius Codex on her or any type of recharge / battery build on her. Mona is also really nice for burst damage as well. But really, there are a lot of options for your last slot. I definitely do think Raiden, Yai, Xingqiu, and then your last slot could be absolutely anybody. Could be Bennett, Albedo, Kazuha, Zhongli, Venti, Mona, Diona, could even be Fischl as well. Rosaria for crit, Sucrose. You know, there's a lot of options for your last roll. It really just depends on what you want as your last roll and what really works for you. If you were to ask me who I recommend, I definitely recommend an animal character or Bennett. Sucrose, Venti, Kazuha, any animal character, or Bennett. Those options are definitely the best. Zhongli is great for this team comp, but the only problem is just there won't be a healer, so that's the only problem with that. But those are the best team comps in my opinion for Yai. And other than that, I have nothing else to say. So before we get into the showcase, one thing I do want to mention: since Yai Miko is a off-field sub DPS / DPS, and she has 3 totems that do single target electro damage, I want to do a quick little demonstration of how to maximize your elemental skill damage quickly. So as you know, Yai Miko has 3 elemental skills: summoning 3 totems, that do single target electro damage. But as you can see, only one of the 3 totems has the ring around it, which means it has all 3 stacks. When the other 2 on the far left and right, they don't have the ring, which means they don't have all 3 stacks because they're not connected to a second totem. So to guarantee and to confirm all 3 stacks on your elemental skills, what you want to do is to put all 3 of your totems into a triangle formation to connect all 3 of your totems together, and they will have all 3 stacks together for maximum damage. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's get on with the showcase.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise, and we don't care about the bad nights. If for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise, and we don't care about the bad nights. If for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this. Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down, my head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sun.
Alrighty, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. It took a long time to make, and hope y'all got some good information from this video. If you do enjoy this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help the channel grow and it keeps me motivated to keep making these videos for y'all. But other than that, that's it for me, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.